Dear students, welcome you all to the apparel production planning and control subject. So today we are going to discuss about the marker making for garment styles from intricate pattern textiles, that is the marker planning. What is exactly the marker planning is. Okay, so before going to the particular topic, we will see that. So this is the first topic for the unit 2, and we will see what is we have learned in the unit 1. We will see now. So unit 1 we have discussed about introduction to the APPC. So what is exactly the PPC? Nothing but production, planning and control. Then we have seen that the production and the definitions of these production and few terminologies, and including with the productivity, what is and how this productivity and production is relative to the particular apparel industry, what is the relation between the production and productivity is. And also we have discussed what are the productivity measures and how these and when we can say that the productivity is increased in the apparel industry. Okay, and we have seen that what are the functions of production department is. Okay, so we have seen what are the different functions of the production department, and we have already seen the duties and responsibilities of a production manager or a supervisor or an executive in the apparel industry. Okay, so and along with this we have seen that what are the pre-production activities of a supervisor or a manager before the production. Okay, so what are the pre-production activities the manager or a executive or a supervisor need to attend or need to do the work. And along with this we have seen that the lead time, what is exactly the lead time and how the lead time is going to affect. Okay, and what are the things and how we can calculate the lead time is. And along with that we have seen that the product development, the product development steps from the prototype to the production model is. Okay, and after this production or the production model or product development, so now the last topic we have seen that the product data management system. So how this product data management system is going to work in the several departments or several areas, how it is connected in the complete supply chain management system. So how this product data can be managed throughout the garment style or throughout the production of the garment. Okay, so these are the topics or contents of unit 1 we have already discussed in up to the last sessions. So now today we are going to discuss about the contents of unit 2, the first topic we will discuss today. Okay, so let me brief about what are the contents in the unit 2 is. Okay, so you can see here the unit 2 is consisting of marker planning, particularly how the marker planning and what is exactly the marker planning is, and how we can do the marker planning for plain fabrics, striped fabrics, checked fabrics, okay, directional and non-directional fabrics. So specifically if you can see the marker planning, we are going to discuss about a particular marker planning for the different fabric types. Okay, so the second topic is what are the spreading techniques, that is one way, two way and biased grains. Okay, and the step lay and splicing. Okay, and marker making, what is exactly the marker making is, what are the steps involved in the marker making, what is marker efficiency. Okay, and what is exactly the layout planning is. how the layout planning can be done as per the design requirement or as per the ordered quantity given by the customer or a buyer. So these are the list of contents which we are going to study in the unit 2. Okay, so let us start the first topic, that is marker planning for plain, striped and checked fabrics or directional and non-directional fabrics. Okay, we will start the today's session. We will discuss about the marker planning is, and all this unit. So you are going to learn or you are going to do an exercises of numerical exercises on layout planning and how this layout planning can be done as per the marker or as per the order given. Okay, so these are the different contents, or these are the contents which we are going to learn from the unit 2. Now we will discuss this session specifically marker planning for plain, striped, checked fabrics and directional fabrics and non-directional fabrics are. So let us start. Let us discuss about this topic. So we will see here what is the requirements of marker planning is. So the industry has always paid great attention to marker planning, because when the cutting room cuts the cloth, it processes materials represents about the half the company turnover. Okay, so nothing but it is very important. The marker planning should be very perfect, so that it is directly deciding how you are utilizing the fabric. So if you are utilizing the fabric for making the garment, so you can get the more profits. So nothing but you are minimizing the wastage of fabric. So in terms of making a good marker, so by the good marker you are going to get the cut components, perfect cut components, and you can utilize the maximum amount of fabric which you are going to spread on the spreading table. So this is going to be directly influencing the profits of the industry. Okay, and the main requirement is to get the very good marker efficiency by a good marker planning. Okay, so any reduction in the amount of cloth used per garment lead to increasing the profit. Okay, that is I already discussed. So the marker planning is a conceptualizing, intuitive, open and creative process, in contrast to making up a jigsaw puzzle, which is an analytical and step-by-step and closed process. Okay, so marker planning is a conceptualizing and intuitive, open and creative process. So this process is very conceptualizing process or a creative process. So the step by step you are going to prepare the marker, so by using all the patterns from the pattern engineering. So now the pattern engineering also one of the thing where and how these patterns are going to be prepared, so that by using the patterns you are going to utilize these patterns to make the marker, so that if you utilize the fabric for the particular pattern components or cut components, so you can utilize the more amount of fabric, so you can reduce the fabric wastage, so automatically you will get the profits. Nothing but your fabric utilization is more, so the wastage is going to be reduced, so you can get the more profits. So that is one of the requirement, and there is no final solution to marker planning problem. So generally the marker planning is going to done by a people or by experienced persons. So how all the patterns are going to be arranged. For example, if you have gone to the tailor shop, then what is the requirement of the fabric for the tailor is like one shirt is like he'll ask 2 meters of cloth. Now for producing a garment, the tailor what he will do, he will take the measurements and he will cut the components as per the measurements. Now by using your dimensions, so by considering all the grain lines, by considering the checks and the stripes of your fabric pattern, to match all these components, he required more amount of cloth, because so the small areas cannot be used sometimes. So by the tailor, so what he will do is he will cut, or he need a more amount of fabric so that he can easily cut the components without any disturbance or without any negligence. So he required more amount of fabric. Now what is happening in our garment industries or in the bulk production areas, what is happening is, so we are producing number of garments with a particular size and style. So what will happen is, we have a cut components, we have a patterns of different parts of the garment. Now by using these patterns or by using these patterns sizes or patterns of a garment, what we are doing is we are utilizing these patterns to prepare a marker. Now the fabric is going to spread on the table. Okay, so the fabric is going to spread on the table. On the table the fabric is spread. Now what is happening is, whatever the patterns you prepared, now we are preparing the patterns, and after the preparation of the patterns are going to be drawn or transferred onto the fabric which you are already spreaded on the table. Now if it is a manual process, then what will happen? You have to prepare the cardboard patterns. Now you have to place all these cardboards on the fabric which you are spreaded on the spreading table. Now you have to see that all the patterns are grain lines which it is matching or not. Then you have to place the patterns in the different positions, so that you need to reduce the wastage of the fabric. Otherwise what will happen, if you keep on if you are keeping the pattern side by side or something like one below the other, then what will happen, you require more amount of fabric to prepare the marker. So what you are doing is, like one pattern you kept at one side and the second pattern at one side. So you are matching the grain lines, by considering the grain lines, you are matching the fabric grain line. Then you are placing different parts in the different places of the fabric which you are spreaded on the table. Now, so there is like a man to man, this marker preparation is going to be varied, because from the experienced persons to the new persons, or the man who is working in the marker planning is, if you have more experience, he can utilize the more amount of fabric for the patterns, and you can reduce the wastage of the fabric when he is making the marker. Okay, so there is no final solution, because the man to man, it is going to be different. For example, if you are using the manual process and if somebody is using the computerized process, that is CAD, for marker planning, then obviously the marker efficiency is going to be different. Okay, so that is why there is no final solution for the marker planning problem. Okay, then in order to plan efficiently, it is necessary to visualize the marker as a whole to see in at a glance. Nothing but you have to visualize. So if you keep this component here, or if you keep this pattern here, so you can utilize the more amount of fabric space for the patterns. So you have to visualize, then only you can get the efficient marker efficiency. Okay, or good marker efficiency. Okay, so the planner proceeds by first positioning the large pattern pieces. So generally the procedure of pattern making or marker making is, like what is the general procedure is, they are going to take the large components first. So the bigger components, like for example we have a shirt of a garment style. Now what are the bigger components are, like a front side of the pattern, like front bodies and back bodies are the large components. So first when the marker is planning or preparing, then the planner need to take the larger components. First he'll arrange the larger components on the fabric, then he's going to take the smaller components like a cuffs, collars, then the pockets, then he is going to place wherever the empty places or gaps are there. Okay, so free areas are there, he's going to try to keep all these components, smaller components in between the large component. So then what is happening is, now the larger components is going to take more amount. So in between, if any gap or any space is there, you can utilize that fabric for the smaller components. Okay, so that is the general procedure to make the marker. Okay, then since most of the pieces are irregular, so you can see that all the components, or when pattern making is happening or pattern engineering you are doing, so while preparing the patterns are irregular. So it is not like a square or rectangular, or it is not regular patterns, irregular patterns are there. So one skill lies that discovering those edges which fit together most neatly and placing side by side across the marker those pieces that fill the width most nearly. Okay, so nothing but these pieces need to arrange properly so that you will get the marker, good marker efficiency. So the planner will then try a number of pattern placements, selecting the one that gives the shorter marker. So nothing but the utilization of the fabric for the patterns need to be reduced, so that within the less fabric space you are going to prepare all the cut components, all the patterns. So if your fabric utilization is less, you can say that the marker efficiency is very good. Okay, so if you are utilizing more fabric and only the few components you kept, then your components will come, but what will happen is you are wasting the fabric which is already there. Okay, so you need to reduce the fabric utilization. You need to reduce the fabric utilization, so to produce all the patterns in the fabric. So this is the planner, or to get the higher marker efficiency you are going to do all these things. Then the work of the marker planner is subjected to a number of constraints relating to the number of, or relating to, there are so many constraints. So the nature of fabric and the desired result in the finished garment is one of the constraint. So what is exactly the nature of fabrics? So the nature of fabric, if you observe, the pattern alignment in the relation to grain of the fabric. Okay, grain of the fabric is one of the constraint. And the second one is symmetric patterns and asymmetric patterns. The fabric styles I told, like we will discuss in the further slides, there are different types of fabrics, like symmetric patterns and asymmetric patterns are there. So if the symmetric patterns and asymmetric patterns are there, then how these fabrics are going to be used to make the good marker. Okay, this is one of the constraint. Then third one is design characteristic of the finished garment. What is exactly the design characteristics of a finished garment is? Okay, then the requirement of quality in cutting. What is the requirement of the quality? So whatever we are discussing, that are the marker planner to subject a number of constraints. So the marker planner is going to consider all these things. Okay, then only you can be able to make the good marker. So you can see here the requirement of the quality in cutting, freedom of knife movement. So what is exactly the cutting machine knife movement is? So it should be very free to move, so that you can cut the pattern exact shape. If the turns or curves are there, so you can easily move the knife so that it can be properly cut. So the pattern count also one of the thing, and the correct labeling also done by the marker. Then third one is requirements of production planning. So you can see here the requirements of production planning. What are the requirements of production planning? Quantity of garments, first thing. So as per the size wise, as per the color, okay, as per the size, as per the color, what is the quantity requirement of the buyer is. And the ratio of marker possibility, that is size wise and color wise, as I told. Then depends upon that we are going to prepare the marker, and there is a stepped marker also. Like sometimes we are going to use the stepped marker. So the step lay we are going to use. So first lay one type of one size of the garments. For example, the first lay is having 25 plies. So 25 fabric layers are going to be done. Then after that there is a marker. Then again the length of the marker is going to reduce, and again we are going to done some layers, and again the marker is going to keep. So we will discuss what is exactly the step lay the next slides. Okay. So this is also one of the major thing or major requirement of the production and planning. Okay. And there are few considerable points before marker making is. So one is, so to get the good marker, what we need to is fabric width half inch higher than the marker width. Okay. So half inch it is. So the fabric width should be higher than the marker width. So nothing but there is a fabric. Okay. Fabric width, say for example 1.6 meter. Okay. Nothing but 160 centimeter. So 160 centimeter, out of 160 centimeter, you cannot able to utilize whole the fabric width, because when you are keeping the pattern, if you keep the patterns exactly 1.6, then what will happen? You are making the number of plies, right? So the ply to ply, there may be chances of 1 or 2 or nothing but 1.1 centimeter or 0.2 centimeter, there is a disalignment or unalignment can be done. Okay. So the displacement of these plies can be done. Okay. So if you use manual spreading or mechanical spreading, whatever it is, there may be chances of errors in the displacement of the fabric. So you cannot exactly utilize the fabric width, whatever it is. Now that is why what we are doing is, we are going to use the fabric width 1 inch less than. Okay, 1 inch less. Okay. So half inch at one side, half inch at other side, we are going to leave, and in between that we are using the fabric. Okay. So the fabric width, that is why the fabric width should be half inch higher than the marker width. Then second one, fabric length also should be higher. Okay, fabric length. So while you are spreading the fabric onto the spreading table, so you required more fabric width compared to the marker length. For example, marker length is 2 meter. Now you required 2 meter plus 2 inches. Okay. So 1 inch at one side, other side 1 inch. Okay. So you need to have 2 more inches more width or more length of the fabric. Okay. Then your marker is going to fit in the middle of the fabric, so that all the components, all the cut components are going to correctly, we will get the cut components. Okay. Then third point, the grain line should be parallel to the line of veils in the knitted fabric, and as well as in the, for example, if you are using the woven fabric, so if it is a gray, like a monocolor fabric, simple like a plain color, like this is, so plain color fabrics, so you need to follow the grain line, like that is warp thread line. And if it is the knitted fabric, you need to follow the veils line. Okay, so that is the grain line you need to follow for all the fabric types. And all the pattern pieces of garments should be along the same direction when laid on the asymmetric fabrics. So all the pattern pieces, nothing but all the pattern pieces need to follow the grain line, and according to the grain line you need to match the components. Okay, so you need to match the components exactly. Like sometimes you can observe that there are shirts, so checks shirts, so the checks are going to match with the body of the fabric as well as the fabric which you are used for the pocket fabric checks, and the body of the fabric checks are going to be matched. So how it is matching? You need to match when the marker is preparing. Okay, so as per the grain lines, as per the checks size, so you need to match all these components. And then consider garment production planning. Okay, so one of the point is garment production and planning also to be considered. Okay, then now we will see from here onwards what are the different types of markers are. So till now what are the requirements, what are the considerable points we need to consider, or the points need to be considered while preparing the marker is. Okay, now we will discuss about the types of marker. Okay, so the types of markers are, so generally the markers are classified into two types. One is called as a manual marker, the second one is called as automated marker. Okay, so we will see what is exactly the manual marker is, and the second one that is called as automated marker is. Okay, now you can see here manual method of marking or manual marker. So the man performs it by himself using hands if it is a conventional system that requires more time. So generally what is exactly the marker is? We have a patterns, we are already prepared the patterns in the pattern engineering. Okay, or the patterns are prepared, and these patterns we are taking to prepare the marker. Okay, so how we will prepare the marker is, one of the method is by keeping these patterns on the fabric. Okay, so patterns how we are preparing, we are taking the measurements and we are drawing in the cardboards, then we are cutting the cardboards. So these patterns we are cutting exactly, and these cut parts are going to be placed on the fabric. Okay, now there is a fabric, the fabric is going to spread on the table. On the table, on the fabric, we are keeping these components, these patterns one beside the other, or we are aligning these patterns. Okay, we will see that what is exactly that. Now full size marker is made for production purpose. Okay, full size marker is prepared for the production purpose. So full size marker means total there are like depends upon the layout planning, depends upon the ordered quantity, the length is going to be decided. For example, full size marker means like 10 meters of fabric length, and you are going to produce, say for example 6 number of garments in a lay, for example. Okay, so for example your fabric that spread length is 10 meter, and you are going to produce whole 10 meters. By using all 10 meters you are going to produce 6 number of garments, for example. Okay, so this is called as the full size marker. Okay, so miniature type of marker is there. Miniature type of marker is sometimes made, and its purpose are to plan or schedule or learn or study, that is the planning and learning purpose. So miniature type is going to prepare for the planning purpose or learning purpose. Okay, to get the more marker efficiency or to utilize the fabric more, what we are doing is we are going for the miniature, that is like a sample we are doing it. Okay, so to consider all the parameters we are preparing a small marker or miniature type of marker, and this miniature type of marker then it will be going to convert into a full size marker. Okay, this is the purpose of miniature type of marker is. Okay, then you can observe in this image. So the people who are there, like they are keeping the patterns on the fabric which already spread on the spreading table. So there is a fabric. Now what they are doing is they are keeping the components or patterns, that pattern cardboards on the fabric. So they are seeing that how we can utilize the maximum amount of fabric for the patterns. Okay. So if you utilize more amount of fabric for the patterns, you can get the marker efficiency good. You can get the good marker efficiency that is there. So you can observe the image where in the large components, in between the large components, they have kept small components like cuff, collar bands, pleats. So these small patterns are going to be arranged in such a manner that the fabric can be utilized more and the wastage can be reduced. Okay, so within the less amount of fabric space or with fabric length, we are going to prepare all the components. Okay, so that is the thing. So specifically you can see in the image, this is called as the manual marker. So the components they are going to keep on the fabric to arrange and to see that how we can best you can utilize the fabric for the making of patterns. Okay, so this is the manual marker planning. Now you can see here the one more image I have given here. So it is like a marker which is prepared in the software. So you can observe that there are like big components, like large components and medium components and smaller components, that is smaller patterns. So the smaller patterns specifically they have arranged in between that. But what is the difference between the previous image and this image is, now we are using a system or a software to arrange all the components so that you can utilize the more fabric for the cut components. So there are softwares to make the marker also. Okay, so that what will happen, so we can digitize the patterns, whatever the manually prepared markers are there, prepared components are there, the patterns are going to be converted into digital form. Those digital images or digital patterns are going to be used to make the marker. Okay, so that is the very best thing. So by using the CAD system or marker, we are going to prepare the marker. Okay, so by using the CAD system. So you can also see here the same, the system by using the software we are preparing the marker so that the maximum amount of fabric can be utilized in the marker. Then there is a computerized method that I already discussed. So this is the best method as it gives higher marker efficiency because we can able to change the patterns so whenever and wherever we required. So automatically in the system we can, if you change the position of the pattern from one place to other place, so directly this will calculate the marker efficiency in the system and it will show if you keep all these components like this, you will get this much of the marker efficiency. Okay, so there is a possibility to get the information related to the marker. Okay, then you can see here digitizing system. What is this digitizing system is? Now there is a manual marker. So what is manual marker is, we are preparing the patterns by taking the measurements. We are preparing the patterns of cardboards and these cardboards are going to be used for the making of marker manually. That is manual marker planning. Then second one is called as the computerized marker planning. Now whatever the computerized marker planning is there, we required digital patterns. So first thing, you need to prepare the patterns in the digital mode. by using the CAD system or by using any software, what you need to do is you need to prepare the patterns as per the customer requirement or as per the measurements you have taken. So the components or patterns are going to be prepared in the CAD system. So that is the one process. And the second process is, for example, you have prepared patterns, manual patterns like cardboards you have. Okay. So drawing sheets you have taken the measurements, you have prepared the pattern on the drawing sheet, I have cut the pieces. Now to get the digital content or digital mode of this pattern, what you have is we have a digitizing system, that is called as a digitizing system. Now what is happening is these patterns which you are already prepared using a cardboard, the pattern is going to be kept on the digitizing machine. So the digitizer, what it will do is, so I'll show you the digitizing method, so you can see that the digitizing what is and how it is going to be working. So the digitizing method is going to work like you are going to keep the component or you are going to keep your pattern on the digitizing board, then you are clicking all the edges of the part. Okay, so there is a pattern. On the pattern, this pattern you are keeping on the digital board, that is digitizing board, and there is a mouse type of thing. So it is going to be connected to the computer. Now the mouse clicks whenever and wherever you have clicked the edges of the pattern. This is going to be drawn into the digital mode in the system. So the pattern which you are already there, physical pattern, you are keeping on the board and you are making the digital pattern by using the digitizing. Okay, so nothing but there is a pattern you are keeping on the board and you are clicking the edges of the pattern, so that this pattern is going to be converted into a digital mode. So by using that digitized pattern, you are going to use the digitized pattern to make the marker. Okay, so this is the one method. And the second method is scanning system. So you have a patterns prepared and you can scan it and you can use that actual prepared patterns directly into the computerized marker preparation process. Okay, so by using the scanner of the particular pattern, you can directly use that image for the marker preparation. That is also one of the method. So there are two methods to convert the physical pattern to the digital pattern. So one is called as digitizing method, the second one is called as the scanning method. Then you can see here types of computerized methods. So there are two types of computerized techniques. One is automatic marker making, the second one is interactive marker making. There are two types, one is called as automatic marker making, the second one is called as interactive marker making. You can see here the definition of automatic marker making. It involves calling up data, defining the placement of pieces in the marker previously planned and selecting from a series. So nothing but if you have digital patterns, directly by using these digital patterns, the automated marker, what it will do, it will directly give the marker. If you want any changes, you can change it. If you want to increase the marker efficiency more, if you are not enough to the marker efficiency was not good by using the computerized or automated marker, you can change, replacements can be done. Okay, and the second one is called as interactive marker making. It is a common process in that the operator plans marker by interacting directly with the system through a computer screen. All the pattern pieces are displayed in a miniature at the top of the screen. Nothing but whatever the digital patterns are going to be are there, this will be displayed in the top of the screen, and you will get the normal screen at the bottom, and you can take that whatever the patterns are there, you can take or you can pick up the each and every component or each and every pattern, and you can place in the marker manually by using the CAD system. Okay, so by using this system interactive method, generally this is the procedure the people are going to be used in the industries. So the digital patterns are going to be taken individually and it will be going to place in the marker area in the system, and whenever he requires to change the part or component or pattern one place to other, he can displace the pattern at anywhere in the marker. Okay, and he can able to calculate the marker efficiency in the system itself. If the marker efficiency is good, you can go further, you can finalize the marker, final marker, and you can take the printout off by using the plotter. Okay, so there is a plotter where the large amount of printout of this marker will come. So by using this plotter, the plotter is going to give a printout. So the printout is going to place on the top of the spreading table. Already you have spreaded the fabric layers. On the fabric layers, this plotter printout is going to be placed. Then it will be fixed at all the sides. Then the cutting can be done. So this is the general procedure. So the advantages of overall manual method, if you observe over the manual method, what are the advantages of this computerized marker planning is, you can see that suitable for large scale production. So small scale production you can go for the manual method, because by purchasing or by cost of these computerized marker will be somehow more, and for the plotter costing, so everything is more. So if you don't require that much, you can go for the manual marker. If you have a bulk orders or large quantities or large scale of production, you can go for the computerized marker. Then marker efficiency is higher than that obtained in the manual method. It is obvious, because you can keep the components within the screen, you can see all the patterns and you can place the patterns very near, so that you can know that what is exactly the marker efficiency on the screen before the cutting. Okay, so obviously you will get the marker efficiency good compared to the manual method, and least fabric wastage, that is there. Then lower production cost. So for example, if you are using this system, so very easy to make the patterns into the marker, then less time can be there for the preparation of marker, and you will get automatically the more production, and so that the lower cost of production will be there. Okay, so marker can be printed out if necessary. If you want, you can take the printout of that marker by using the plotter I told. Then grading of the pattern could be done automatically. So grading can be done like a large size of patterns or small size of patterns. Okay, sizes, different sizes also will be there, like XL, small, medium, large. So all these sizes can be graded automatically by using the computerized marker. And few time assumptions are there, and there are few drawbacks also. So initial investment will be higher, and obviously you require the skilled operator to get the more, to work efficiently and more. Okay, so these are the advantages and disadvantages of computerized marker compared to the manual method. Okay, then if the design of the style demands a coordinated pattern, the position of the pattern needs to be precise for all components. Okay, nothing but here the precision of these patterns and everything is I have given here. So all the components must be positioned according to the fabric pattern and the required appearance of the garment. As a result, a large area of material cannot be used, so the fabric consumption will be increased. Fabric consumption for pattern is going to be increased, so wastage is going to reduce. Okay, so automatically you will get the good marker efficiency. Okay, then what is exactly this marker efficiency? As I am telling that many times, marker efficiency, you can observe that here, what is the marker efficiency is the ratio of pattern pieces that are placed on the marker to the total area of the marker expressed in a percentage is called as marker efficiency. Nothing but, say there is a total area. Now you have kept the patterns. Now what is the general method is, now you can keep the patterns on the fabric. You can weight the total amount of fabric, simple calculation. So you can weight the total amount of fabric which is used for the marker, weight. Then you keep the components, you keep the patterns all, you cut the patterns all, okay, and utilize the maximum amount of fabric, okay. You can weight components like patterns, you weight after cutting, cut components you weight separately, wastage you weigh this separately. Now to calculate the marker efficiency, the area of all patterns in the marker then divided by total area of the marker, okay. So how you are going to get this total area of all patterns? Total area minus wastage. So area you are going to calculate. If the area of all patterns in the marker is higher, obviously you will get the more marker efficiency. Okay, nothing but you are saying that the reduction of fabric wastage in the marker. Okay, so multiplied by 100 you will get the marker efficiency percentage. Okay, then marker efficiency is the most important step of a garment manufacturing. So it is directly going to involve in the salaries and the garment cost, everything. Okay, then there are several factors which are going to be related to get the good marker efficiency. So you need to consider all these factors. These are the factors which are going to affect on the marker efficiency. One is called as marker planner. Who is preparing the marker? Experienced person or skilled person? Obviously you will get the marker efficiency good. Size of the garment. What is the size of the garment? Size is nothing but ordered quantity. How many garments? Okay. Then marker length. What is the marker length you are using? More the marker length. So the marker length is going to be decided, depends upon the number of garments and ordered quantity of the particular garment style. Okay. Then pattern engineering also one of the thing. Why this pattern engineering is very important? Because sometimes the pattern engineering people are going to separate the patterns depends upon the, like, by considering the marker. So they are saying that like there is a shirt back bodies is there. Sometimes the back bodies are going to be splitted, depends upon the design. Okay. So if you split these designs or if you combine these two patterns, you will get or you will get the change in marker efficiency. So that is the thing. The pattern engineering people also be considered what is and how this marker efficiency is going to increase or decrease or varied. Okay. Then fabric characteristics also one of the thing. Fabric characteristics nothing but generally the fabric type, that is striped pattern or checked pattern or directional or non-directional, that is symmetric patterns or asymmetric patterns are. Okay. Then marker making method, whether it is a manual marker making method or computerized marker making method, that also is going to influence the marker efficiency. Then marker width also one of the factor. Then finally the style of the garment is also one of the thing. If the too much complicated style, too many components, then it is going to vary the marker efficiency. So the style of the garment also one of the thing or one of the factor which is going to be affect on the marker efficiency. Okay. So this is related to the up to here. This is completely like what is exactly the marker and what are the different types of markers are. Okay. And how we can calculate the marker efficiency. Okay. So we have seen this. in this particular session. In the next session, we will see the few more things, how we can plan for asymmetric patterns, symmetric patterns, striped patterns, and checked patterns. So different type of fabrics, how we can plan or how we can prepare the marker by considering the fabric type. Okay, we will see in the next class. Till then, thanks for listening. Bye.